Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Miss Call's Campers. If you're new here, I'm a first grade teacher. I've been vlogging for many years. We are currently in summer. I thought it would be fun to take you guys along with me to a cafe once more. If you haven't seen my videos before, you can click the I button or check the description box. I've done some work with me, productive vlog type videos, and a lot of you guys really enjoy those. And for me, it's kind of convenient because I can kind of kill two birds with one stone. I can be productive, I can help you be productive, and I can film a new video. So we are at one of the cafes that I love. It's actually quite busy for a Friday morning, but we're just gonna do the thing. We're gonna be editing a YouTube video, and I also thought it would be interesting to kind of chat with you guys a little bit about what it's like being a content creator and answering some of your questions. So if you're not following me on Instagram, this is a really quick plug for my Instagram. This is where I kind of pick your brains for things. Let's go inside and hope that we can find a table. Okay, we are in the coffee shop, which is actually so funny because there's someone being interviewed here too. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about in my vlog was public perception and like when you're out and you're vlogging, and there's a whole camera crew here right now. Let me show you. Before I get started editing my video, one of the biggest things I think that stops people from creating content is definitely the perception of the public. I think there's definitely certain people whose personalities are more geared to content creation. For example, I'm someone who's always loved anything that has to do with creating or creation. I mean, I used to make stop motion videos in iMovie years and years ago. That was my very first introduction to editing and video software, which funny enough to this day, I still use iMovie as my main video editing software. Some people are a little bit more geared to that, and so I think it affects them less, and I'm one of those people. Got the brown sugar, it's a brown sugar shake and espresso, I think. It's what I always get. It's what I'm always expecting. I'm not gonna taste it and get something new. Okay, open up iMovie. iMovie is my tried and true. I told myself one day I would move to Final Cut, and that day has just not come. So one thing I will do really quickly is I'll show you my end of the year video that I film for my students throughout the entire year. So most of the time in the classroom, I am filming for one of three reasons. I'm either filming for Class Dojo for their parents, I'm either filming for a vlog for YouTube, or I'm filming for our end of the year video. The end of the year video is such a passion project, but it is one of my absolute favorite things that I do. I'll show you a little tidbit, a little peek into it. I save clips all year long, and I just compile them to music, and then I share the link with them as an unlisted video on YouTube. The parents love it, the kids love it, they watch it years later. 10 out of 10. Filming them for Class Dojo is a lot more of like, while they're working, I kind of walk around and I can talk to them while I'm filming and kind of asking them to explain the things that they're doing, or I'll say like, say hi to your mom and your dad. So sometimes when I'm filming for a YouTube video, they'll turn around and they'll be like, hi mom, hi dad. And I'm like, that's not what this is. The other question that I get a lot is, do your kids know you have a YouTube channel? And that is yes and no. Yes and no, because I have past students who know, who have siblings who will share it, and once an older sibling knows something, it's not a secret. Everybody knows it. And then sometimes, ironically, what happens is their parents will have followed me on Instagram or YouTube, and then they'll watch it with their kids. I always say my YouTube is not a kid channel, it's for teachers, and anytime one of my students brings it up to me, I do say something like, we're not talking about that, but I usually follow it up with, well, it's for teachers, it's not a kids channel. So I'm gonna walk you through really quickly what a completed iMovie looks like and show you just how simple that it is. I am not someone who's ever wanted to get super fancy with anything. Of course, I love the way like a nicely edited video looks in the end, but I'm never someone who wants to spend 8 hours editing a YouTube video. And I also don't want to hire anybody to do any work for me. So the first thing that I do for the end of the year for the end of the year memory video for my kids is I pick the music. I've been with these kids all year long. I know the songs that they love, and I usually try to make the songs pretty personal to the class. So if there's a song that we've listened to a whole bunch in class that they just start bursting out singing it, I'll definitely include that, or a clip of the song in the end of the year video. And the reason I find the music first is because I cut the video to the beats in the music. So I'll show you an example. I don't know what you've been told. Time is running out. I don't know if you can tell just from like those short clips, but everything from like the hoo 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 sound in one of the videos to us like moving like hoo hoo, or like the basketball, like the beat when he throws the ball. And that's something that like my kids are not going to care about. But is it fun for me? Yes. And whenever I do normal like day in the life vlogs, or like I'm out in the world, I try to edit my vlogs with a similar sort of idea. So the first thing I do is I go in and I add my music, which is not what I do in a normal vlog. In a normal vlog, what I go through and do is, you'll see in a second. So for the end of the year video, music first, and I cut the clips to the music. And I just keep in mind that I have to keep the video relatively short. This one was 10 minutes and 4 seconds, which is probably the limit of what I would want to do, because it doesn't need to be some full feature-length film. But let's hop into a new project, which I think I already, I don't have the footage uploaded. Oh, I thought I did. I also keep my iMovie very empty because my computer does not have a lot of storage. And that's one of the questions that somebody on Instagram asked me. They said, how do you deal with the storage and the content and the videos on your phone? I'm a really bad example because I pay an excessive amount of money for iCloud. One thing that I will also use is a little external hard drive. This one is solid state, so it's an SSD, which is definitely, if you are in the market for one, make sure you get an SSD. Uploading footage from your phone to a hard drive for storage is a great option, and then other than that, I just use the cloud. So I actually have to get some footage into my iMovie so I can edit a new video with you. I'm filming on my phone today. I do not have my big vlog camera with me, so check in a sec. Unfortunately, this is my method of transfer, which is just airdropping videos from my phone to my computer. But while that happens, I'll show you what everything looks like in my timeline. So on the left, I have my intro music, which I kind of extend out, and then I lower the volume as the video progresses. I also always taper off the end of all my music, and sometimes I will overlap. So I'll start the next music about here, so it kind of leads into it. And then anything extra that I add on is in here. B-roll shots that I want to add in just to keep the video going and also a little bit shorter. I tend to only include music during something that would otherwise be pretty boring, or sometimes it just adds to the effect of the video and what's going on. So here's an overview of what the timeline looks like. It's very simple, basically just a bunch of split cuts, and that's about it. And then the very end of my videos, I have my music, the music that leads into it, and my little end screen. So this one right here, this is just a click sound. All right, once the footage is uploaded, I'm just gonna go ahead and start a new project. And I immediately just drag it and drop it in. So here it is. And there she is. This is just the first half of the day up until lunch. But once it's in here, I take it and drag it into my timeline here. And then there's a couple of things that I have to fix. I think I was also planning on doing a reel for this day. So I'm going to take anything that needs to be rotated and kind of rotate it ahead of time. Videos that were meant for a reel like this, I'm just going to remove, keeping everything that's meant to be for you guys. And now for more behind the scenes. You were on this, and I'm moving you to this. Okay, so far for the very first part of the day, we have, I don't know if you can see, an hour and 3 minutes that I need to go through and edit. And this is for the entire morning time. I'm gonna go ahead and airdrop the rest of the day's footage into here. Airdropping is my preferred method. I left my AirPods at home and I never edit videos in public out loud. However, I am in the very back corner and this cafe is loud enough that I think I can. I just didn't want you guys to be hearing audio of the video, if that makes sense. All right, so now in total we have about an hour and a half to sit here and edit, which actually shouldn't take too long. I can see the audio on the bottom of every clip. I go straight from the beginning and just edit straight through. Typically, I remember if there was something that I wanted to refilm or redo. There's nothing special or fancy about what I'm doing at this point. We're just gonna go through and start editing. Usually the intro is the one that takes me like sometimes 2 or 3 takes because I'll feel like I look too like, hi. But I think I got this one in 1 take. And today's evening. Their morning journal stuff is fine. It's just a set of currently. So they can vary it. So for like white paint on them so you can start on fast. Anytime I have a tiny gap in what I'm saying here, like this is dead air, I immediately delete it. Immediately. Okay, so I have hit a point in the video where I filmed something that I knew I wanted to have as like a transition sort of moment where it was just music and me doing something, and I don't edit these until more of like the end of the video, just because using iMovie, if I drag audio onto the audio timeline and I change the clips above it, the audio is going to stay where it's at. So if I attach it, then it'll be easier to kind of adjust it to the beat, but I just save all that towards the end so I can get a better idea of the vibe that I'm going for. So I mark it and move on. of the time when I am editing these videos, watching back and like listening to conversations with my class, I'm cracking up. Go wait on the sidelines. Looks good. Go wait on the sidelines. All right. Nice job. Nice job. I keep going through this cycle of being really productive and in the zone, and then nobody is in line. And then I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get hungry, and I look up and they have a line out the door, and I'm currently hungry, but there's a line out the door, so I'm gonna get some food. Also, every time I come here, I swear it feels like I'm on the set of a really nice movie in New York. It just feels like everyone who comes into this cafe just looks straight out of a movie. I mean, gorgeous people, gorgeous outfits, gorgeous hair, gorgeous everything, gorgeous babies, like straight out of a movie. Cute.
Tomorrow for ice cream day, we're going to have a lot of fun activities, we're going to have some fun ice cream stations to do, and we might even have some ice cream. Maybe. I'm going to pass your certificates back out, and I have to pass your library list.
On this whole clip on 1x Zoom instead of 0.5 Zoom, and that's what I got.
The day was so chill.
Okay, so the entire video mostly is edited. I think we started with all the footage being an hour and a half, and it's currently at 17 minutes, which it will be shorter because there's things that I marked that I have to go back and edit. And there's also things that I'm going to do once I'm in a quieter environment, like make sure the audio levels are a little bit more balanced. So I'm going to move on to thumbnail making now, which if I was going to start a YouTube channel currently, I would definitely do it in like Canva. But I've just done it in PowerPoint for the past 7 years. I don't know, how long have I been on YouTube? It's been 7 years-ish, I don't know. So we're gonna open up the good old PowerPoints and make hopefully a half decent thumbnail. I feel like I never, thank you. Yes, thank you. Perfect, thanks so much. No, thank you. Okay, we're actually gonna start eating food for a little bit and then we'll make our thumbnail together. I love how thickly cracked the pepper on these eggs is. I am a sucker for thick peppercorns. So my order whenever I come here is scrambled eggs, potatoes. I sub the greens for fresh fruit. It's blueberries and blood orange. I get sourdough toast, and then I get turkey sausage. And it's all so good. Okay, so get this. I was fully prepared to move to another table for an outlet to charge my phone, my computer. I get up and one of the super sweet bussers sees me with my charger. He goes, "There's an outlet right there." And it's on the other side of this table that I absolutely could not see. I was clearly not scoping hard enough. And it was just one of those moments I'm like, this whole time? Really? This whole time? So I actually went through while my phone was charging and I checked my camera roll. I didn't take any pictures for the thumbnail for this game day video. Some of the times when I'm vlogging throughout the week or throughout the day, I'll snap like a really quick picture and like with the intention of using it in the thumbnail. Other times I don't. Other times I'll be filming, and similar to the thumbnail in the video you're watching now, if I'm filming and I'm like, oh, like this would make a good thumbnail, I will just go ahead and pose and smile so I can screenshot it later. What I had to do for this video is go through, because I did not think of a thumbnail at all. I had to go through, scrub through, try to find a moment where I wasn't talking, because I do not pause well. When I am talking, I don't feel like my face and lips, like I just cannot get a good still from any time that I'm speaking. So if you pause my videos, no you didn't. I found a couple of options. So I went ahead and screenshotted them. I'm going to go into my PowerPoint and let's see if we can work a little bit of our magic. And most of the time I will slightly edit the images that are on the thumbnail, just kind of make them look more like maybe a little bit more vibrant. So once I find kind of the layout of the image that I like, I'll import it back into my phone using the Lightroom app and kind of just touch it up just a little bit and then put it back in here and it'll be the final thumbnail. So here's my last one. And a lot of times I will just copy and paste the last thumbnail that I did. But I want to see, maybe I'll switch up and put the text on the other side. So we'll grab this one, which does not look great up close, and we'll paste it in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of this in the background. You can see how I layered it. Okay, these are the ones that I have. This one I thought could be used as like part of the background. So I'll move you in closer. And then this one I thought could be more of like a wider background. This one I don't love because I feel that the glare on my glasses is kind of obnoxious, but it seems like it's going to be my only option for the thumbnail. So I am going to go ahead and put this into Lightroom on my phone. And I don't love PowerPoint's remove background tool. I actually think it's the worst. Canva does a really nice job. But I'm not importing this into Canva and then exporting it again, and I'm not going through all that. Pretty close. Oh my gosh. Real time. This is how much unnecessary. I could have just put it in Canva at this point. Okay. Here it is with the background removed. We are going to cool the image down just a little. And I don't love how big my arm looks here. So I did want the text to be on this side, but I think it's just going to work better to have it on this side. So I'm going to shrink. We got to kind of play around with this. Sometimes if my arm is like that, I will just chop the whole thing off completely. I don't really love any of these options. We're gonna try this one. I could call this game day, or I could call it sports day. I think that's what I'll do. I'll call it sports day. And I like if the day kind of sits in this little nook right here. So we're gonna adjust this, Change the background a little bit more. Decrease the size a little bit. And then we're gonna do some kind of orange gradient for Sports Day. Black could look kind of cool. Maybe if I just do black on the edges. This orange could be brighter. That looks kind of cool. I think that looks really cool, actually. Alright, and then day can be a little bit bigger. And I always try to keep in mind the timestamp is going to be right here on the YouTube videos, the thing that tells you how long the video is. So we'll move. I don't know if I need to be that big. We'll see what looks better. Zoomed out. I think so. This is one of my favorite parts, is making the thumbnail. I mean, that looks pretty good. I just am probably going to change the background a little bit to make it look a little more alive. Like that probably looks good. Just brighten it up a little bit. What is it missing? And then sometimes I'll see what it looks like with my other thumbnails. I don't know if I like the black on top. It looks kind of cool though. Alright, I think that's where we're going to leave it. I hate the glare on my glasses, but I did just about everything I could do to at least lessen it. And people are going to look at it for like 2 seconds. The other thing I can do is I can add stuff into the background and kind of layer it. So if I wanted to add in these packets, for example, I could layer that in for some kind of fun dimension. Let's see. Sometimes it can be a good thing. Sometimes it can look a little busy. I kind of like the idea of them. Oops. But maybe... Oh, that would be backwards. Okay, I think this is going to be the final thumbnail. Yeah, I don't know. It just adds like a little bit more life to it, I think. And we're just going to let go on the glare on the glasses. And I just screenshot usually. I'm going to go back to beach day and grab in my intro. And I don't usually have to mess with the volume here. And we'll change the volume. Actually, the volume's probably fine. So now I'm going to go through and see where I want all my music. There have definitely been times where I've been editing my video and I did music as I went, and then I had to go back and I changed everything, and then I had to readjust all the music. So from now on, I strictly do music at the end of the video. And then I don't have to stress about anything. It's a little bit hard because I don't have headphones in right now. So I'm going to finish completely editing this vlog at home when I can actually hear it and make sure it's good. And then the very last thing I do is I add my end screen in. So that's kind of like my whole process for editing a vlog. Hopefully you were able to get some work done too. I'm going to chat just a little bit more about YouTube and content creation and all of that. If you are interested in more of that, then you can stick around. But that's all we're going to be doing for the end of the video. So some of the questions that you guys had for me, I did go ahead and screenshot, and I've got these pulled up on my computer. How do you juggle teacher life and editing vlogs? I feel like this one is pretty obvious for me. Back when I almost said in my prime, when I was first getting started, I would be really good about either editing every night after school or creating something for my classroom, or I would be really good and really consistent about spending hours on the weekend editing. And I think I got a little bit burnt out and tired of that. Whenever I'm the most successful, I am very intentional about the things that I'm filming. So I'm not having 4+ hours of footage to edit, which I know sounds insane, but only having an hour and a half to edit for this vlog that we just did together. It's 1 p.m. right now. Granted, it took extra time because I'm here in a coffee shop and I'm also filming another video with you guys and I'm getting angles and there's a lot going on. But even a 1.5 hour video still takes me over 2 hours to edit. Probably, I wouldn't say it's like 2 times the amount of footage you have, because a lot of times I can cut through it really quickly. But whenever I'm really good about, as I'm getting the vlog footage, being intentional about what I'm filming and knowing what I'm doing, which has come with time, it's made that balance easier. Of course, the longer that you spend creating content, the more you kind of understand the process and it makes it easier, and then you get faster at things. But other than that, I don't do a lot for work outside of school. Like, the only things I'm doing outside for school now are things for me and then YouTube. I'm really not doing anything when it comes to my classroom. So I don't truly have any advice in this category because I try really hard not to overload my plate, and if my plate feels overloaded, I let something go, which is why every now and then there will be no videos coming through for me. But Abby asked, what YouTubers inspired you to become a content creator? I chatted a little bit about how I've always loved content creation, but as far as like teaching, I can film that and share that. There are 3 content creators that come to mind. So my absolute favorite when I very first started was Bridget. I don't remember what her YouTube username was, but she posted her teaching, and she's just one of those people that I was just immediately drawn to. I loved her teaching style. I loved her personal style. I loved the way that she explained things. And I think when I started watching her, she was on year 4 or year 5, maybe. I'm not sure. She hadn't been teaching for a super long time, but I had so much to learn just from watching her. And I've always been the kind of person who has wanted to share things and help other people, so it kind of just came naturally. So I loved Bridget for a while. I did watch Michelle, Pocketful of Primary, and that one Happy Classroom. I really liked her vlogs too, which, funny enough, love her so much. How much does recording yourself teach help you grow and become a better teacher? A lot. Even if you are not someone who wants to post vlogs on YouTube, which is a whole process, by the way, even if you're not someone who wants to post vlogs on YouTube, I highly recommend watching yourself teach. And I find that a lot of people are pretty camera shy, even if it comes to themselves. So they say like, oh, I can't watch myself. And to me, number one, I've never been one of those people, so I cannot relate. But to me, even watching myself teach a horrible lesson, you learn so much. And I just don't understand the mindset of like, oh, I just don't want to watch myself teach. I just don't want to see what I'm doing and get better. I don't understand that mindset. It's not something that I can subscribe to, because for my first few years, so much footage to go through, and I learned an insane amount just by watching myself and getting to reflect on that every single day. And even if you don't post it anywhere, which you definitely don't have to, you learn a lot. Filming setup. Okay, I, for the most part, am filming on my iPhone. I film in 4K, 60 frames per second. Filming on the back camera is a lot nicer than filming on the front camera. Right now I'm filming on the front camera, so it's not as nice, but if I flipped you around, it would look nicer. All of my classroom vlogs are shot with my iPhone. Some people thought that I was pulling out my giant vlogging camera in front of my kids. I'm like, who would do that? No, I would absolutely not do that. My kids never know. Am I filming for your parents? Am I filming for a vlog? They do not know. My newest addition to my setup, which I absolutely love, are these microphones. I have, grab it for you. These are not cheap, but I would honestly recommend, if you are just getting started for vlogging, instead of spending money on a vlogging camera, as tempted as you will be, spend money on a microphone. Not a camera, a microphone. Use your iPhone, film on your iPhone, upgrade your audio. So much better. I'll show you really quickly what it sounds like if I'm not using my microphone, but these are Hollyland. They are linked in my Amazon for you. It does come with an adapter for my actual vlogging camera, so whether I'm using my vlog camera or I'm using this, I use these little microphones here, and they are they're magnetic, so there's a magnet on the inside of my shirt. It comes with 2. The batteries last a super long time. They charge super nicely in this case. So here's what it sounds like without the microphone. So this is what it sounds like without the microphone. You probably can hear a lot more extra noise and I'm not going to be as clear. Invest in audio. Thumbnails, I already kind of walked you through that process. I use PowerPoint and I keep it pretty simple. One thing that I do like to do is for each year, for the most part, I've kind of switched up how I do my thumbnails. Who knows? I really like the ones that I have now, so I might keep them for a little bit. Another thing about being comfortable on camera is it takes a certain kind of personality to be able to even sit down and talk to a camera. But if I could go back, I would not try so hard. I feel like when I was first starting out, there's just a whole lot of nerves in there, which is quite natural, but I'm sure even you as viewers can see how I've evolved as a creator. And even just now sitting and talking to you guys, I try not to put on a camera voice, which does happen sometimes. Inevitably it does happen, and I don't even realize it until I'm watching later and I'm like, oh my god, Maylene, why do you sound, hey guy, like, I'm trying so hard to keep it just like, hey, me and you, we're here, we're chatting. Someone asked about feeling boxed into teaching content, which, again, I do this to help people, but at the same time, I also do it because it's a huge way to document what I'm doing and document my own life. And I have a really, really, really poor memory. So I love to document things. Anyway, I will sometimes go and watch old vlogs of mine, of like travel vlogs or things like that. Or like if I taught a certain lesson or concept, I'll go back to that video and I will rewatch it and it will be helpful to me. Sometimes I'll post things that I know not a lot of people will watch, but it's something that I want to post. And that's just how it is. So you can either focus on the numbers and making sure that you're doing everything in an ideal way that's going to boost your channel the most and have the most, like, what is it called? Clickbaity type, you know? Or you can just post what you want to post and stick to being as authentic as possible. And I feel like people lean into that, which goes into this question: how do you gain traction? And for some people, for most people, it's a slow burn. And I think some of the best viewership relationships are those with a very slow burn. For me, I think I started filming at a time where teaching vlogging was just about to reach its peak. We were at the precipice, I feel like, that many years ago. And it was very popular. People were watching teaching vlogs all the time. And I don't feel like we are in an era where that is as common, which is why I'm trying to create at least shorter videos, even though a lot of you enjoy like these longer videos where we're sitting and chatting. I got a little bit lucky because when I posted my very first classroom setup, it was 12 parts, and each of those parts had hundreds of thousands of views. And so many of my viewers, maybe even you watching right now, remember those videos and subscribed and stuck around since those videos. And there's a lot of things that I used to do that I do now differently. I would go live on the weekend and talk with you guys. There's so many different things that I did back then, but I think the more that you focus on putting out content that you know is gonna help other people, that is authentic to you, the more traction you're gonna gain. And you're gonna gain the right audience, not just posting only cutesy things or only clickbaity things. Posting my genuine experiences and reflections in my vlogs. I don't care to have, honestly, I think 10,000 viewers is it's the perfect range. And then after that, you get a bunch of haters and all these things. But posting things that you authentically like and know will help people and that you think would be beneficial in some way, shape, or form, that's going to get you the audience you want. I also feel like a lot of people think that if they don't get a lot of traction within the first year of doing something, that they're just not going to be successful at it. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. Again, it's a slow burn. Growth is a process. And I have had probably like 50 something thousand subscribers on YouTube because constantly getting losing every single day. But I'm still posting. I know a lot of content creators who were on YouTube and they quit, or they were on Instagram and they quit because their numbers just weren't growing. And I feel like if this is something that you're doing for the right reasons, that number is not going to matter to you. I could shoot up to 100,000 subscribers tomorrow and you would still get the same content from me. I could drop down to 10,000 and you would still get the same content from me. The next one is someone asking about brand deals and how you can go about doing those. I'm not the best person for this. A lot of content creators honestly have managers. I don't. I just go ahead and I wade through my email whenever I feel like it. I have so many missed opportunities. It's very, very rare that you will see me post a sponsored video. I do want to be better about that going into this next year because I want to be better at like putting money aside. When I had probably my first 3 years of YouTube, I made quite a bit of money in brand deals, brand partnerships, and it can go cross-platform with YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, but I've just stayed away from it for a long time, mostly because I just don't want to accept every single brand deal that comes my way. There was a point where I was seeing so many teacher influencers take all of the same brand deals. We all got the same emails. They would all post at the same time, and I think in my head I just was so turned off by like everything that comes with that, so I completely stopped doing brand deals altogether, and I haven't done one in forever. But if you see anything coming up in the future, I am selective. Okay, I think that's about everything. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I have already posted some of my classroom videos kind of prepping for next year, and in one of those videos I talked about coming back to the cafe and doing some like coloring, creating examples. So if you are definitely into these productive type long videos where you can just put it up and you can get laundry done or dishes done or clean your house or just sit and rot on the couch, definitely make sure that you are subscribed. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Always leave a comment and say hi if you're new, or if you've been here for a long time. Make sure that you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.